already in progress. Wonderful world of Generation X going live this Sunday night. A little late due to the AFC Conference Championship game, which unfortunately didn't go the way I would have liked. Is what it is. Kind of like being Gen X, we get to deal with things as they are, not the way we'd like them. And I'm a Bills fan. I've dealt with this for very, very many years. Bright side is Philadelphia looked absolutely untouchable today. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. I am an Eagles fan through and through as of right now. So is what it is, Christine Taylor. Couple calls I didn't agree with, couple major calls I didn't agree with. Don't push your luck today, Cindy. I promise you. It's a little early for that to be thrown around. But it was a good game overall. I don't think Josh did what he needed to do. Our offensive line didn't give him the room to do what he needed to do, and the Chiefs' defense was pretty solid. That being said, it is what it is. Go Birds. Hey, Green Marie. What's going on, P? How are you? Good to see you. Tamara, hi. How are you? Sorry for the loss. It was a good game. Definitely something I'm used to. I will say that the Bills will grant me a long, Angie, I couldn't agree more. The Bills will grant me a long life because I plan to stay fit and in shape and live a very long life so that I someday get to see my Bills win a Super Bowl. So it took the Cubs 108 years to get there for me. This officially marks the end of football season for me. So all I've really got to say is let's bring on spring training and let's go Cubbies. Agreed, Tony. How you doing, JTR? Good to see you. How are you, Kristen? Good to see you. Norma, how are you? Still Bills blue, but definitely baseball season. Let's go Cubs. Go Cubs, go. Could be a good year. Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? Appreciated your post. I really appreciated your post. Felt like things went against us. One reception that I thought was absolutely not. And it was funny is hearing the commentators. First of all, can we agree whether you're for the Chiefs or you're for the Bills? Doesn't matter which side you're on. Can we agree that Tony Romo fucking sucks? I mean, hey, Tony Romo, if you're listening, the act of using your legs, the act of a quarterback using his legs, there's a word for it, dumbass. It's called running. Okay, it's running. When you think a quarterback should run, you can say, I think he should run. If I had a nickel every time that moron said, Mahomes needs to use his legs, there's Mahomes using his legs. We got to get Josh Allen, use his legs. The word you're searching for, you moron, is running. Okay? The word is called running. My God, that drove me nuts. I couldn't take it. Had nothing to do with one side or the other. It's just, God, he needs to shut up. No, he's not better than anybody. He's by far the worst. Dylan, my man, how are you, buddy? Miss you too. I hope you come in soon. Miss you. Haven't seen you in a while. Sheila Bugs, hello. Oh, Cindy, I couldn't agree more, man. I just can't take it. That and his thing where he's like, if it was me. And then or when he predicts what's going to happen, he'll break out his pencils. He'll break out his markers and he's like, okay, here's what they're going to do. They're going to go here or they're going to go there. But watch this. And then they don't do that. And he's wrong. And he just pretends he never said anything. And 1 in 10 times when he's right, he acts like he's Nostradamus or something. But yes, the word he's searching for is running. Thank you, Jane. Me too. Who's worse, him or Brady? Brady, I think, holds back a little bit because he knows he's new. Brady is holding back. Listen, I had no expectations for the Bill this year. If you guys caught some of my early lives and we talked about it, I'm like, I don't feel like this Bill squad has any big names on it. There's no Worthy on the receiving end. There's no Kelsey. There's Josh Allen and a bunch of people giving it everything they've got, but Coleman and Dalton, it's a young team. So I don't know if Tua's done. I don't know. There could be a chance for them to come back. Cook's coming alive. Cook was not the running back at the end of the season that he was at the beginning. He learned a lot. I am absolutely marrying a couple people there, Dylan. I gotta get that taken care of. A couple good friends, what Dylan's referring to over on Facebook. I think yes, the Facebook Live is that I've been asked to officiate a wedding, which will be fun. The oxygen just left Buffalo. Kelly, we're used to it. We're totally used to it. No, yeah, no expectations for the Commanders either. Another team that went really far that I don't think anybody expected to. The time for the Bills to win, I think, was 2, 3, 4 years ago. Diggs was supposed to help us produce. Things changed. Heather says, live in Kansas City. I think the refs suck. Not fair calls, but it's been that way on lots of teams. The officiating was bad. I'm not going to say that it favored one team or another. I'm not going to be a sore loser. It was just bad. And it looked bad. When you have the first call on the field at a crucial moment being first down signaled by one official, and then the other official comes and moves the ball back 6 feet, and now all of a sudden the call on the field is no first down, and it's a call that's impossible to overturn because the standard it's just not conclusive enough. That's BS. So that's my opinion on that. Don't do shit like that. Go Eagles. Hey Tanya, I see you on. Hi Elaine. It's all good. I really wanted them to win too, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'm all baseball season now. I will be borrowed. I'll be a honorary Eagles fan and see if the Eagles can get it done. Hey, life, I see you, buddy. So that'll be cool. But if not, then the dictate is that there's a three-peat. So it is what it is. I wasn't on till I think later again last week, Lana. The games have been wreaking havoc with my schedule. Football over for me as well, Reggie. Go Cubs. We made a couple interesting pickups this year. We'll see how the Cubbies do. There's things about the Chiefs I don't like, but it goes beyond the ref thing. There's been between the Chiefs and the Bills. I didn't like Mahomes' behavior at the end of one of the games. I didn't like him coming over to Allen and complaining. You can't take anything away from him for being a talented quarterback, an amazing leader. The perception that he's a bit of a crybaby carries quite a ways for me. I think he's a bit of a tool personally, but I don't know him. Never had him over for a beer. He could be a really good guy. It's just not the impression that I get. Ash, we're going to move on. It's not long standing. Just kind of what the topic of the day, given the day we're talking. Late to the party, Thomas. Stacy, we just joined in. We just started, actually. Hey, LSAI. Lasai? Not sure I'm getting that right. No worries, Ash. So what else, guys? What's going on? So first things first, I want to congratulate on YouTube. I think I saw you, Sheila. So Sheila won our first major trivia crack event where, unless I'm mistaken, I think, Sheila, you took first place, which means that Trivia Crack should be sending you a $500 gift card, Amazon gift card your way. Oh, good. I got it right, Lasai. So congratulations, Sheila, for that. I'm psyched. Not only was I informed that we took first place, because this Trivia Crack was us against other creators' followers, we took first and second place. So there were actually two followers of our GenX Avengers that came through and took two of the top three spots. So 500 for first place, 300 for second. Doreen says, I'm off. 4:30 a.m. rolls around way too quickly. Have a great week, Doreen. Haven't heard from them yet. I will send an email out tomorrow, Sheila, to make sure that gets taken care of for you. What else was I going to say? So that said, I will launch a 3-day regular Trivia Crack event if you guys want to play, starting tomorrow morning. I'll probably have it up late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Always can go to my Facebook page to see that the event was launched. You can always just go to my bio, hit the link tree, and there's always a link every Monday to get started, just for fun. Usually it's fun and bragging rights. Every once in a while, we throw some money your way. The other thing is, for those that are in the Florida region, if you guys are in the state of Florida, February 6th through 9th, I will be attending MegaCon, MEGA Con, in Orlando. I've been given 4-day press passes, so I'm going to be roaming around the convention floor, meeting people, greeting people, making content, talking to people. Hopefully going to get in front of some of the guests that are there. This year at MegaCon, we've got Molly Ringwald and Judd Nelson, Anthony Michael Hall, and Ali Sheedy from The Breakfast Club. I know we have at least a few of the people. Johnny from Cobra Kai will be there, Billy Zabka. So that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully I can get in front of him. The kids from Stranger Things are going to be there. So I'm hoping for that. John says, what's the latest news on your various live streams? What do you mean by what's the news on there? I will say I am this close to a play button on YouTube. If you're not currently following me on YouTube, please throw a follow. If you could share it, that would be great as well. If you get your friends, family members, strangers walking down the street to follow my YouTube, I am a few hundred away from 100,000, and that would make me ridiculously happy. Did I know that Stockard Channing is 80 years old? Cindy, it kind of makes sense given that when she played on Grease as an 18-year-old, she was, for the life of me, looking all of 35. Hey, Laura Ryder, how are you? Buffalo Bills tried, dude, they gave us an awesome season. I had no expectations this season, and I got to watch a lot of football. I'm glad that we stood in the way of a perfect season for the Chiefs. I honestly believe that if we hadn't given them that one loss, they would have played their starters. They would have beat Denver, and they very well might have gone on to a perfect season. So we accomplished that, and I'm happy about it because I am a sore loser. The one and only Nicole, your mama. That's all I got to say to you, because your mother loses like a dog as well. Actually, she wins quite often when we play the games we play, but that's a different story altogether. Thank you for joining, one and only Nicole. Hello from upstate New York. Hey, Lori, how are you? Did I see the new Karate Kid trailer? I did, dude. It looks pretty awesome. I saw the Superman trailer for the new Superman movie. I'm excited about that as well. Norma, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Robert, hello from New Hampshire. Stockard Channing was 33 when she played Rizzo. Well, there you go. Barb, I'm happy you're happy. Tammy, hello. How are you? Look how she asked for it. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Hey, Becky, good evening to you as well. You guys survived Snowmageddon. Happy to hear it. Don, it's okay. I didn't have any expectations this year for my Bills, and I went in today hopeful, but fully expecting that. Given Arrowhead Stadium, I didn't expect to go in there and take it from them. I really didn't. Hey, Marge, how are you? Hey, TJ from Arizona. Hey, Pennsylvania in the house. Go Birds. New Hampshire. But yeah, the Superman movie looks good. The Karate Kid movie looks interesting. But getting back, if you guys are anywhere near Orlando, please. Hey, I'll be there the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. Check it out. Let me know you're going to be there. Look for me. I'm going to be all the way through there. I'm going to be doing lots of content down there. I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. So again, Orlando, February 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. We will see you there if you are there. Bills were robbed is what it is. Thank you, Uncle Andy. I was not aware that we lost the game. First of all, I didn't lose anything. And regardless of me thinking I might have helped them, I wasn't playing. So I didn't lose a game. Did I hit my market? No, I think I'm about 400 away from 100,000. I've never been one of those people that I take possession of my team. I went to college at UB. I'm a Buffalo native. I lived there for 12 years. I love the city. But it's my team, but I didn't lose. They did. If they had won, I wouldn't have won. They did. I don't get a Super Bowl ring. I don't get a bonus. I don't get paid if they get there. So I enjoy the game. I see where it goes. I lick my wounds. I'm a little bit upset about it. And then I get up tomorrow and I do the things that I do that make a difference for my family. And to Luna Star's point, go Cubs, go. But dude, 2016, when the Cubs won, I don't know anything will ever be that sweet for me again regarding professional sports. That was a day. Nicole says, I think you're great and very funny. Thank you for entertaining us all. It makes it easy. The days we grew up lend themselves to so much. Some of the funniest videos that I make, I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't even really anticipate that they're going to be taken as really funny. But then I see it and I'm like, damn, we really grew up in times that were hilarious. Cassandra asked, do I remember soapbox racing? I do. I never got to do it. My dad worked a lot in our diner. We had a Greek diner growing up, and then later on a diner and a bar. It's not going to be the Sabres. No, Michael, it's not. So I know a lot of kids that had really good soapbox racers in the derbies. Their dads usually helped them. I wasn't able to have that. So I didn't do it a lot. Hellraiser says Little House video went off the rails. Little House on the Prairie, dude, that's a topic we can spend some time talking about. I didn't realize until I started making, I appreciate that, John McJunkin. Thank you. I didn't realize just how bad Little House on the Prairie was. And I'm not bad in terms of it being a bad show. Hey, Draylin, Coglin, if I said your name even close to right, how are you? Thank you for the stars, Eileen. Appreciate you. Deborah Mott, bedtime. Have a good night. Get a good night's sleep. But, dude, Little House on the Prairie, I don't know. If you have kids, you got to show them. I know, Luck Spinner, we're this close if we can get there. If you have kids, if you have grandkids, if you got nieces, if you've got nephews, you got to go. You got to take them to see Little House. You got to lead them to that show. I made a joke about Bunny being taken away, kind of like Wizard of Oz, where the old lady grabbed the dog, and someone corrected me like, "That's not the Bad Bunny episode." I'm aware. I'm aware that the Bad Bunny episode is where Bunny had to be put down. But I mean, dude, how many things can you talk about? Facebook kicked you out. Wonder why? I'm a Cardinals fan since '68. Absolutely great fans when they come together. Agreed, Ross Harvey. Mary Garvey dying in the fire. Dude, that was ridiculous. Shabi, thank you so much for that. What is my sun sign? What is a sun sign? If you're asking astrology, I'm an Aquarius. Favorite Gen X band? I was a big fan of like old school Genesis, especially when Gabriel was fronting for it. Van Halen under David Lee Roth. 90s kind of had a mini thing for like where Nirvana was pretty cool. That whole thing was pretty cool for a while. I really enjoyed the grunge movement. They brought a new feel to it. I loved when Nirvana played on MTV Unplugged and just showed what they could do unplugged. I thought that was cool. To Lisa's point, Styx was fun. Of course, you can't go wrong with Journey. You can't go wrong with REO Speedwagon, AC/DC. Kiss was amazing in my younger years when I was a kid. I thought it was so cool. The whole never been seen without their makeup thing was really cool. And that was a big deal. Van Halen under Sammy Girl. I get that. I had no problem with Van Hagar. Queen, I didn't appreciate Beth Ann at the time. I now really appreciate the talent of Queen. I really didn't get it at the time, but now I listen, and so many songs that I didn't attribute to Queen because I didn't follow them necessarily. Their music from one song to another is like so different. There's like 5 or 6 different Queen songs that you would think were 5 or 6 different bands. They are so different. But Freddie Mercury's voice is beyond belief. So that's definitely up at the top. I'm a huge Peter Gabriel fan in terms of solo artists. I'm a huge Billy Joel fan in terms of solo artist. And Julie, what's going on, eh? CCR was amazing. What hurt me with CCR is, like I said earlier, my parents owned a bar and we had bands play every weekend, and they were cover bands. And we grew up in a small town where the most valuable player in any band was usually the cowbell. So I got really sick of CCR really fast, not because of the actual band, but because of all our bands that would cover them. I just got sick of the song. Phil Collins was amazingly talented. The only thing that I say against Phil Collins is literally there was a time when every 4th song on the radio was him. So that got kind of tough. The Hip, absolutely saw the Hip in Buffalo quite a bit. Michael Brown. Poison, Def Leppard, Robert Palmer, Motley Crue. Going to see Billy Joel next week, and he's coming to Charlotte with Sting. I just couldn't justify the cost of the tickets to go see it. Favorite places for wings in Buffalo would be Duff's, without a doubt. I am a Duff's guy. I went to school at UB, so just going up the road to Millersport Highway and Sheridan Drive was too easy. So it's Duff's all day long. If you guys are anywhere near a Duff's and you're looking for some good wings, I would say go there all day long, but just stay away from the super hot wings. They used to be called Suicidal. They are brutal, brutally hot. What other questions you guys got? Michael Jackson, beyond talented. Laura Branigan, yeah, Tina Turner, without a doubt. Bon Jovi was fun. Pat Benatar. Jonathan coming in, Buffalo Bills lost. Yeah, I kind of saw that. Shine Down. What was that? Collective Soul? Whitney Houston, amazing voice. Sorry to hear about Buffalo. It's they weren't. I was amazed they got that close. What's my favorite clothing? I'm a t-shirt dude. Jeans and t-shirt. Strong preference for flannel. I have flannels that are older than most kids that follow me. I know you're happily married. You have a brother I could marry. Both of them are happily married as well. But thank you. Tammy works at Buffalo Wild Wings. Very cool. Yeah, Whitney Houston. I will always love you. And listen, give credit where it's due. Uh, you got to give Dolly Parton all the credit in the world for that song in terms of writing it. And Dolly Parton's version of it was good, no doubt. But in the down beat, that one moment where the beat goes down and Whitney Houston looks up and hits that note, I don't know, man. Still get chills. White Snake, Stones. Aha was fun. Not sure I'd put them up with some of the other bands we talked about, but definitely fun. That video was groundbreaking. You've seen Tina Turner in concert. I've seen a lot of concerts. That's one thing I really feel sorry for. If there's any younger people in the live or coming through or seeing it after the fact, I got to tell you, there's two things that I really lament for younger generations. One is that somehow we've allowed concerts to get ridiculous, to no longer be affordable for young people to go to. That's a crime. I went to so many concerts, and yes, I always say we took our life into our hands going because they shoved us in general admission and we were literally like sardines in a can. And more often than not, we'd get shoved around. And if someone fell down to the ground, you weren't sure they were getting up without being trampled. I get all of that. But we could afford to go to concerts. I've seen Journey. I've seen REO. I saw Peter Gabriel. I've seen Billy Joel. I've seen Chicago. I saw Styx. I saw Night Ranger. I saw Starship. That was the same concert. Yeah, your feet would literally sometimes be completely off the ground and you'd be held up by just being pinned. Speaking of One Snake, R.I.P. John Sykes. I missed that. Was that recent? And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the donation. I'm sorry for kids about that. I don't know if it's the artists have gotten greedy. I don't know if it's the fees from places like Ticketmaster or Ticketron. I don't know if it's a combination of both. But whatever it is, it's a travesty. It's ridiculous. They need to fix it. Otherwise, I kind of hope that they feel the sting that eventually these younger people will figure it out, throw on their MetaQuest VR, and just pretend they're at the concert. Because if you don't have a virtual reality headset, I've got that MetaQuest VR. I watch concerts on it all the time. It is this close to being the real thing. And I'm part of me is hopeful that enough kids, enough people just stop going to the concerts that the demand drops down and they end up having to bring the cost down. Thank you, Randall. Appreciate it. Yeah, kids should be able to go afford who they want to see. The other thing is, especially talking about the Bills tonight, I saw a lot of Buffalo Bills games as a kid. I went one step further. I worked the stadium when it was called Rich Stadium and did security so that I had the opportunity to watch the games and get paid for it. But kids today, if I want to take a family of four to a Bills game, dude, you're out like $1,000. It shouldn't just be for the wealthy. It just shouldn't. That's why I like baseball. That's why I like to go see the Knights. They're a AAA team. It's not even a Major League Baseball team, but you can afford it. Hey, Stacy, good to see you. June of 86, I went to 19 concerts. We had an outdoor venue, and I was able to get tickets for $10 each. Am I in Chicago? I'm not. I'm in Charlotte. Uncle Pierre for PM. I could make lots of guesses, Uncle Pierre, as to what PM stands for. And given your profile picture, I'm assuming premenstrual because you look like a 12-year-old girl. That being the case, I'll continue to wear this shirt, but thank you for caring. No offense intended for premenstrual little girls. It's just he really looks a lot like one. Even the movies are ridiculously expensive. That's fair. We had season tickets most of the 80s. Great time at Rich Stadium. Prime Minister for Canada. Ozzy was the man. What's going on, Jacques? Yeah. Somebody toss that fool, will you please? 200 watching, only 44 likes. Come on, guys. Thank you, Sheila. Braves game, I can get good tickets. I'd like to go see a Braves game. I'd be up for that. $1,000 for a game. Yeah, not for one ticket. But like I said, if I wanted to take my two kids and my wife, and honestly, what's the point of going if I don't? It's too much money. The kids should be able to enjoy, to appreciate that stuff. John, if you ever had to throw out a belligerent, obnoxious drunk at the Bill Stadium, I want to apologize. I had the opportunity to ask more than a couple to walk. And bartending most of my young and adult life, I've walked more than a few people out the door. Thank you so much, Tammy Elaine. Um, is that an old school soccer bopper? Yeah, it is. It's right up there. It's Soccer Boppers. Funny story. Some of you might remember them as Sock'em Bop'em. Whatever the old name was, for those of you that remember them under a different name, they got sued by the company that made Rock'em Sock'em Robots and said that the original name was too close. So if you remember them being Sock'em Bop'em, they were. They just had to change it to Soccer Boppers because they got sued. Yep, Sock'em Bop'em was the original name. They just had to change it. A family should be able to afford a game. And kids should be able to afford. I would love to, Dan. Maybe sometime when the Cubs are playing St. Louis, I'm actually closer there. That would be a good time. Yeah, the idea of soccer boppers or sock and bop'ems is awesome. Basically, they told us as kids to put these things on, blow them up, and then just beat the living tar out of each other. And we did. I remember being hit so hard in the face with one of those, and they don't truly offer a ton of protection. I saw stars. My older brother literally beat the living daylights out of me wearing sock and bop'em gloves, and it was allowed. We were doing what we were supposed to do with them. Beth Ann is talking about Perfection, that other game that still gives you anxiety. I can't listen to that tick, 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 tick thing. I can't. The minute I hear that, I start sweating. It's anxiety on 9-volt batteries. The other game that gave me anxiety, Simon didn't bother me much, but Operation bothered me. I didn't like Operation. And I seem to remember bigger batteries that played because my daughter's got an Operation now and it's more noise. I remember it shocking us more. It was, I don't know if there were like D batteries in there at the time, whatever it was. It was Operation that got me almost as much as Perfection. Well, Sai says they didn't bother. Those bothered me. $20 to see Kiss in concert. Simon was fun, and it helped our memory. Etch-a-Sketch, I couldn't do. The only thing I could build on Etch-a-Sketch was a box and stairs. That's it. Yeah, I think ours had D batteries. I definitely think they were stronger. And then the other thing is I took a 9-volt battery to work with me a few months ago and had the kids, I got to do it again. We've got a new set of kids. I had them putting the 9-volt battery on their tongues. Do you guys remember doing that to check and see if they worked? And then you'd get that zap on your tongue every time you did it. Hey, Sal, how are you? Connect 4 and the commercial pretty sneaky, sis. I miss board games. We played a lot of board games, and I don't know about you guys. I didn't really play them on the kitchen table. Everything I did in my early years was on the floor. Like we watched TV on the floor because number one, the furniture was for adults. Number two, it was eye level for the television, so it was a good seat for watching TV. And then number three, being on the floor meant when our parents told us to change the channel, we were halfway there. So that was fun. Goddess Raven says played at the kitchen table. But no, I played all my board games on the floor, again, probably because the TV was on. Do I remember Speak and Spell? Absolutely. Can I make I don't know what that was. Parcheesi, Yahtzee, sorry. Sorry caused all kinds of fights because it was the most obnoxious word you could use. You never just said sorry. You really rubbed it in when you sent somebody packing. Don't be so mean. Try the nose ring. I had one girl almost willing to put it on her nose ring, and I stopped her at the last moment. Carlin McKinnon, thank you so much for the donation and the super chat. I really enjoy talking about how things were back in the day. Though I was born a millennial, I feel I have a Gen X heart. I'll say it over and over again. They changed the years. A generation used to span 20 years, so ours went from 65 to 85. They rolled it back to 80 after a book came out talking about the acceleration of generations, us specifically. But I know a lot of millennials, especially if they were like the youngest kid in their family and their older brothers and sisters were Gen X. Well, then they grew up Gen X. I totally get that. Clue was fun. Monopoly, I rarely made it through a game. Monopoly, sooner or later, always ended up with the board being flipped over. Cheating, the vast amount of cheating that went on in Monopoly was beyond belief. The only game I think that there was more cheating involved was original Battleship, because people would just pretend their ship was, they would move it, they would do whatever they could. It got a little more different with electronic Battleship. Richard says many board games during the 70s from movies. Wasn't really aware of that. Pickup sticks, Payday. Long range Risk, absolutely, Robert. I remember playing Risk. Monopoly did go on too long. And like I said, a fight would break out. Trivial Pursuit, the 80s, I remember in like late 80s, there was a resurgence. So I remember playing board games as a little kid. And then board games kind of went away. We all went to our handheld football games. We played Atari, ColecoVision. We started playing our games on the computer. So that kind of flipped over. But then for me, I was in high school from 1985 to 1988. And I remember after school, it became a thing where we'd bring in things like Jenga and play in the cafeteria after school, Pictionary, Trivial Pursuit. Those were games that in the late 80s kind of brought back board games. And I just remember it being a really good time. John Mastrandia, Tough Kids YouTube channel. Absolutely. I'll have to check that out as well. There's another Gen Xer, according to my buddy John. Might pronounce it wrong. John Mastandria, Tough Kids YouTube channel. Have him come in and join us one of these days. That would be fun. Game of Life, John Edgar reminds us of. Played that all the time. What's funny is the one thing I learned in the Game of Life is it almost, in that game at least, it made less sense sometimes to go for the college route. I won more games by not going college route, and realized that you had. Now here's the thing. This will tell me what kind of Gen Xer you were. For those of you that played the Game of Life, I need you to answer one question. Did you use the betting thing with the different colors, or did you not? Did you guys realize that there was a betting component, a casino portion to the Game of Life? Because my point was I made more money betting during life with that little color strip than I ever did actually playing the game. Erica says didn't use it. Deborah says she did use it. Michelle says didn't use it. Miana says yes. I found a lot of people didn't know what it was for, didn't even know it was there, but you had the opportunity to use it to bet, and that made all the difference in the world for us. We bet our asses off. We turned the Game of Life into absolutely into a casino. What's going on, Short and Sassy? Hello. Thomas O'Donnell, no. Eileen says yes. Cindy, sometimes. Scott says never knew about it. I'm surprised as many people knew about it as they did, because Kevin says never even saw it. Just the wheel. Yeah, the wheel. So if you remember the wheel, guys, the wheels had colors on it. It wasn't just numbers. And I think a lot of people don't realize the color on the wheel was something you could bet against on a side bet. Made a lot of money that way. We actually monetized it and played for real money. How's the bar going? Bar's going good, Short and Sassy. Thank you. I worked earlier today. It was kind of quiet. Never played Life either. How about lawn dart roulette? Anyone? Kevin Pierpoint brings that up. Kevin, I never played roulette. We did play lawn dart or jart chicken, where we would just launch the jarts up in the air. And if anybody looked up or ran, then they lost. Lawn dart chicken. I always got to admit, though, when I threw it up, I never threw it straight up. As much as Stacy says I was a risk taker, I'm not an idiot. I always threw it up and a little bit away, because I just didn't want it coming back on me. Because they weren't necessarily just sharp, Raven, that the weight on them, it would have driven it into your skull, even though it wasn't necessarily super sharp. Funny you said my last name first. O'Donna Thomas. I think that's just the way I was reading right to left for some reason. Don't know why. Pine cones were the best. We had pine cone wars, Andy Elhart. That's a good memory to bring back. Prisoner base? Risk was a big college game. I agree with you on that one. Jacksonville, Florida, Lisa. I was mentioned earlier, I will be in Florida, Orlando, and I'll mention it at different points throughout the live for different people that come in. I will be at the MegaCon convention, February 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So get your tickets. Come by if you're going to be there. I should be there all 4 days, wandering around, interviewing people, saying hello, taking pictures, hopefully interviewing some of the guests there. It should be fun. How do you pronounce my last name? It's Kotrides. Kotrides. Stratego. Loved Stratego. Never played Skippo. That's a new one for me. Stratego is a lot of fun, though. Just the actual strategy of where to put your miners and your bombs and your sheriff. It's in Orlando. I think it's going to be at Universal Studios, if I remember correctly. Mr. Matt Burton, how are you? Looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday, buddy. Coach Burton there is my daughter's volleyball coach. He actually coached them to a championship season. So even though my Bills lost today and broke my heart, my real favorite team is the one my daughter plays on. A hell of a lot more personal, and they won all the way through this year. So I'll still say that this was a pretty good year for me. David Rich says the Bills lost, bro. Thank you. I had no idea. I must have missed the game somehow. Remember the tic-tac-toe game with the beanbags? Definitely. Candyland, first game most of us played, right? Candyland, Chutes and Ladders. Somebody mentioned the Jaws game. That was another anxiety one that gets forgotten sometimes, where you would take the little fishing pole and you would try to get up the stuff out of the Jaws' mouth before it would clamp. And then my daughter, my oldest daughter, back in the early 2000s, there was a game that I actually was pretty impressed with. It was kind of a throwback game. It was Don't Wake Up Daddy. I don't know if any of you have kids that might have played it, but the idea was that there was this bed and the father was sleeping and you had to do things. Then if you weren't careful, it would jump up and you would wake him up. And that was pretty anxiety causing. That was pretty intense. I was very proud of them to do a game like that, but it wasn't very popular because it really did bother the kids, apparently. Hi-ho, cheerio. Chutes and Ladders, definitely one of the first ones. Thank you, Stacy Martin. Appreciate you. My friend Sarah Bumgardner is on. Hey, Sarah, how are you, sweetie? Do you remember Johnny Sacco and his flying robot? I'm sorry, I don't. Did I ever play football a go-go? No on that one as well. Don't Wake Daddy. That's exactly the game I was talking about, Sal. Thank you. Tammy says, I loved my Jaws game. Don't Break the Ice. That was a little bit anxiety causing. My kids had it. Yeah, my Go Fishing was another one that my kids had, Hellraiser. See, and that's sometimes we forget things that I did with my kids also are nostalgic. When people talk about me, yeah, I had a Stretch Armstrong, Sherry. He wasn't very long lived. Gutted him like a stuck pig to see what was in there. But people forget, like, they'll talk to me and it's like, sometimes I'll bring up something like, well, that wasn't Gen X. Like, what do you mean it wasn't Gen X? So like, well, it wasn't in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. It wasn't even in the 90s. So that's not Gen X. And I remind them, well, I was there. I did it. I experienced it. It's part of my memories. So yeah, it was Gen X, at least from my experience. Sometimes some of the things we talk about are things that happened to us as Gen X kids. But sometimes some of the things I want to talk about are things that happened to us as Gen X young adults or even Gen X parents. Because I've got to tell you, there's Barney songs that I've committed to memory that I wish I could get that memory space back now. I'm convinced that some of the things I can't remember are because I remember songs from Barney and I can't purge them from my memory. I remember episodes of Caillou, God help me. That stuff is kind of nostalgic in a good or a bad way as well, because when I see that stuff, it reminds me of my oldest daughter as a little girl. And so I have good feelings about that. Not Caillou. I have no good feelings about Caillou. All the Play School Little People sets were my favorites as a small kid. Me too. And then the things that I did with my kids that I also did as a kid were cool. Like somebody mentioned the Bionic Woman. I actually got the DVD set. And my oldest daughter absolutely loved the Bionic Woman. We watched the entire, like, every single season, and she loved it. My youngest daughter now, we're going through the Wonder Years. and she absolutely loves the Wonder Years. And even though I was a little older when I watched the Wonder Years, and even though the time period they're talking about was a little before me, it still brings back really, really good memories. And she absolutely loves watching it. And she's kind of amazed. It's cool to watch a show, and she's like, there's no one's really watching even TV, let alone any phones or anything. So that's kind of cool. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Remember the Bionic German Shepherd. I'll go you one better, Jeremy. Not only do I remember Max, which is what the Bionic German Shepherd's name was, I remember the fact that one episode of The Bionic Woman included the kid that played Peter Brady, Christopher Knight. And Christopher Knight actually was going to take possession of Max, and it was supposed to be another spinoff at one point, a backdoor pilot for a new show with the Bionic Dog as the lead in. It just never came to fruition. So if you ever see an episode of The Bionic Woman with Christopher Knight in it and see a Bionic Dog running in slow motion, that very nearly became a show of its own. New Zoo review. Elephant Show, I don't remember. Mork and Mindy, I loved. Teddy Ruxpin with Metallica tape. GenX Parenting, when they were at the Tell You No stage. Yeah, that stage didn't last long in my house. Bigfoot was a robot. Yep, I remember the Bigfoot era. I loved the actual Bigfoot episodes of, because that was the other thing. How much did we love crossover episodes? When Captain Marvel, Shazam, and ISIS would cross over, when the $6 million man and the Bionic Woman would cross over. Those crossover episodes of any show were absolutely like, it just got me so excited about, especially when we thought something was going to be a cliffhanger. And you're like, oh shit. Because back then a cliffhanger meant you waited like a week, or God forbid it was the end of a season. And then you had to wait through all the reruns. But the Bionic Woman would end and you thought it was a cliffhanger, but then the voice would come on and it'd say, to be continued, coming up next on a special episode of the $6 Million Man. Dude, that was the best for me. John mentions Batman and the Green Hornet. They crossed over as well. Yeah, now you wait 3 years. That is true. Now we wait so long for, first of all, the seasons only last 8 or 9 episodes, so that's a cheat. Then we've got to wait 3 years for the new version. Whereas with us, they had to work their asses off and produce 23, 24, 25 episodes. And then while we were watching those 25 episodes, they were already filming the next 25. Now no one wants to take a chance. They don't want to film a season until they know the past season was already successful. Is that a huge Johnny Walker bottle behind me? Nope. I've got a huge 190 proof Everclear bottle behind me. And I was joking on the last live. I said if I got to 100,000 subscribers during the live, I would do a shot of that Everclear. Now the Bills lost, I'm actually thinking I might do it just because my life is in pain. Let's see how many subscribers we're at. Dude! 99,763 subscribers on YouTube. So we are, for the kids, 237 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers in real time. Wow, that's cool. I'm close. I'm excited about it. It's one of those little things. I don't get paid money when I hit 100,000 or anything good like that, but I do get like a little plaque. So that would be cool. I do just feel a sense of achievement, I guess. Always next year. Shots fired incoming. Yeah, Xpun, I'm excited about it. I appreciate it, like, dislike. Thank you so much. We're at 768 now. When do we party? We party in just 769. We party in 230 subscribers. Lori, I've been doing this a long time. I've been a Bills fan for a long time. And I was a Cubs fan as long as I've been a Bills fan. So believe me when I say, Kenneth, thank you so much. Believe me when I say that I'm used to it. I enjoy the game. I enjoy watching the game. But somewhere last year, I got so beaten up that I came to the realization that I'm not playing. Okay, I love this team. I brand with them, meaning I wear their stuff all the time. Just because they lost doesn't mean I'm done. Football season's over, which is why I switched to the Cubs hat as a joke. But I didn't lose. They did. I didn't play, they did. If they had won, I don't get the ring, I don't get the bonus, I don't get the check. I hated the fact that I would get so upset over it that my kids would avoid me because I'd lose my temper or I would yell at them to sit down. I don't want to be like that anymore. They lost. I would have been really happy if they won, but they lost, not me, and I'm okay with it. Always next year. Yeah, there also is a Mad Dog bottle here as well. There were two. I already ate. I already drank one. Loved Wonder Woman show. Will I film unboxing when I get the button? Sure, I will. If you guys want to see it. Yeah, Raven. I mean, I think especially guys, and maybe women are like that too. I'm not trying to be sexist at all, but I think a lot of guys, at least my friends, we overdo it. Eileen, thank you so much for subscribing. We overdo it. We want to see our team win, our team, and we push the we thing so much that we alienate people around us. There was a while my wife didn't want to watch me watch football, and this season she watched with me because I was different about it. Last year, there's no way in hell I would have gone live after losing. Vinny brings up Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. I remember that show. They had the coolest things. It was like these laser things that came from their wrist gadgets. Want me to send you some Kentucky bourbon? I don't think I've ever found bourbon that I really liked a lot. Tammy Lunsford, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that, guys. Michael Storm says the Bills suck. Well, they're not so fond of you either, buddy. I don't say we lost, they lost. I mean, that's it, Eli. And I can say we lost in terms that, me, but it's them. And I'm finally distinguishing a little bit. What was or what would have been my favorite lunchbox? Dude, that's a good topic. I had the $6 million man lunchbox. I loved that one. I had a G-Force. Battle of the Planets. I don't know if you all remember it. It was a cartoon of these bird-like superheroes. They had like masks and they flew in. I loved that one. Alan blew it. Listen, he didn't have time to throw the ball to save his life. I didn't have a Dukes of Hazzard one. That would have been a good one. Hong Kong Phooey, I might have had. I actually remember that one. It's funny that you mentioned that. I think I might have had a Hong Kong Phooey. Yeah, they did, Jessica. Agreed. Pac-Man lunchbox. Oh my goodness, I remember G-Force Battle of the Planets. I loved that show. I really loved that show. G-Force, the nickname my kids gave to my mom for good reasons. Who did I like better, Pinky or Leather Tuscadero? Leather Tuscadero, because I actually liked when I actually liked her as a solo artist as well. Had a big crush on her. Although the Leather Tuscadero, that thing she did was kind of hot. WWF Lunchbox, Fonzie Lunchbox, Partridge Family Lunchbox, Land of the Lost, Thundercats, Flintstones. I had a Super Friends Lunchbox. That was one of my favorites. Chosen one, are you 6? I mean, seriously, if you're not, then I'm sorry for you. Yeah, Susie Quattro, Leather Tuscadero, exactly. Hardy Boys, Snorks, Smurfs, Designing Women. I hope you mean the show, Jackie, and not the lunchbox, because I can't really think of anything sadder than a 9-year-old kid going to school with a Designing Women lunchbox. Holly Hobby, I remember girls with that. Not judging. If you had a Designing Woman lunchbox, I guess I shouldn't judge. Snoopy. Creature feature shows, doesn't sound familiar. Dukes of Hazzard would have been a cool one. Bucks Rogers would have been a cool one. Paper Bag, I had that. Well, at some point, the lunchbox went out of style, went out of favor. If you were the kid that still had a lunchbox past, I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade, you might have gotten made fun of, especially if it was like the Tupperware one your mom gave you, and it was not even something cool. It was just Tupperware. That could have got you beaten up. At that point, it was cooler to either buy your lunch, especially on Square Pizza Day, or to just brown bag it. So sorry. I did go as Mama from Mama's Family for Halloween one year. I'm thinking that's pretty cool. Scooby-Doo lunchbox. It's a pretty good impression, if I do say so myself. Wife had strawberry shortcake. All right, 90. I feel like I said it last time. I feel like I am Jerry Lewis on a telethon. As I look at this ticker, we are at 99,780 for those counting. So 220 to go. And if we do it during the live, if not a shot straight of the oft mentioned Everclear, then maybe I'll put it in some MD 2020 and try it that way. But odds are I will sign off long before we get to 100,000 because I am not an idiot. Square Pizza Day was awesome. Somebody gave me a recipe that supposedly would taste just like the square pizza. And I didn't do it because I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to have it now. I cannot think of anything sadder or not much that would be sadder than to make it. Have it be exactly like what it was and not like it as much. To me, that would be really sad. I like it in my memory the way it was. Star Trek Lunchbox. Mars and Hutch or Mars Hutch, was that the Star Trek original series actors like people Lunchbox, or was it the animated series? It wouldn't be the same or taste the same. That's what I'm saying. Even if it was exactly the same, it wouldn't taste the same. Hey Kathy, how are you? Monica says square pizza, no thank you. Highest I ever climbed a tree as a kid. Cassandra, I could climb so friggin' high. I can't even tell you the highest I climbed as a kid. What I can tell you is, as good as I was at climbing up trees, I couldn't climb down. I cannot tell you how many times I got stuck in a tree and my older brother had to come get me or a friend had to walk me down. I loved heights. I loved climbing up to things. I just got scared to death of looking down and then I couldn't come down. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, I went up. I just couldn't come down. Favorite theme song was Greatest American Hero. Definitely one of them. My grandparents got so scared I'd snap the top branches. Knock on wood, I don't remember any kid ever really falling out of a tree too badly. But that said, as I'm saying it, now I remember one kid I'm starting to remember the casts now. And I think more than a few of the casts were from falling out of trees. So I'm taking that back. Tempted to buy Elio's Pizza when I see it in a store because I loved it in second grade. Yeah, Cindy just said it for me. Sister fell out of a tree, broke her arm. I didn't remember the falling out of a tree being a thing until I remembered the broken arms being a thing. Climb up, drop down. I was great at climbing, better at falling. We lived on our roof and used my dad's ham radio. Dude, my bedroom window was directly over the garage at our house growing up. So I could climb out of the bedroom window and onto the roof of the garage. And we'd bring a boombox, we'd put out blankets, and we'd just chill up there. Hey, Susie from Washington State, how are you? Had a kid at a daycare I worked at, fell out of a tree, broke both arms. Tried to catch himself. Saved by the Bell lunchbox. All right. Actually, I've had Mario Lopez make comments on some of my stuff on YouTube. I thought that was pretty cool. Has yet to follow me. Hasn't pulled the trigger, hasn't committed, but I've seen him hit like a couple times and made a comment. Don't be afraid to follow, dude. Weeble Wobbles. What else we got, guys? What else we got today? Fell out of one of those American slides backwards. I remember being afraid to climb up the slide. Some of those slides were pretty high. The going down wasn't really the problem, except that you'd burn yourself, but the climb up sometimes was kind of scary. Remember Lincoln Logs? I remember homemade parachutes off the roof. Weeble wobble, but they don't fall down. Those friggin' mail order sea monkeys, dude. I tried that like 3 times. What'd you miss, Mayu? Not too much. We're just talking about all things Generation X. People come on and remind me that the Bills lost, as if there's any chance I wouldn't know that. Who tried homemade beer? Anybody remember the game Blip? Sounds familiar, but no. Clackers, the most dangerous toy. Mine never broke. And I clacked the hell out of my clackers. That sounded like a euphemism, but they never broke. 7-Eleven, hang outside with Slurpee. We never had a 7-Eleven in my hometown. Real small town, though. Yeah, the sea monkeys for me were like dust on water. I never got the ones that lived. Tammy Lane says, hope you have a happy birthday on Saturday. Thank you so much. Yeah, gonna double nickels. Can't drive 55, but I soon will be. Skip It. I remember the lemon Skip It. That was a girl thing for the most part. Us guys did it, but unless my memory is different than other guys' memories, we skipped the girl. Like we had next door neighbors, 3 girls. They had the lemon Skip It, and we would try theirs. I never bought it. How small, Cameron? Wolcott, New York, upstate New York, between Rochester and Syracuse is where I grew up. Really small. My graduating class was the largest to ever graduate, and I think we were like 175. The town itself was tiny. It was right on Lake Ontario, nothing but apple orchards and cornfields. It's a great place to grow up, though. Then I went to school in Buffalo, lived in Buffalo from 1988 till about 2000. Can't find sea monkeys now, might have to look for some. Pop rocks and soda. Members only jackets. I got one right over there. Go Doug Flutie. I remember my buddy Doug. Johnny West toys. Y'all got toys. Y'all suck. Okay. Do I remember the price of things on sale always ended in 95? They always ended in 95 or 99, and they were alternate because people thought that if you marked everything up to 99, then you would take the big leap and go to 95, but it still allowed you an easy leap to 99 that no one would notice. And you would just raise everything in retail by that 4 cents, and it actually was a pretty substantial increase. I had Flutie Flake cereal as well, saved it for a long time until bugs infested the damn thing. I did get whooped with the yellow skip it. Pokeball, Renee, I could never make work. What did we do at recess? Good question, Angela. Recess for me, as a kid, we did the rides, of course, rides, the toys, the murder go round, the teeter totter. I was always bullied on the teeter totter. I weighed like 20 pounds soaking wet until like the sixth grade. So I was always the kid that they'd be like, come on, let's teeter totter. And then they would strand me up at the top and I'd beg to let me down. And then they'd jump off and I'd come crashing down. So that kind of sucked. The swing, always jumping off the swing at the top end, trying to go around. I was never good at climbing the things that were just climbing toys that took you way up and that you would fall through. Like I remember kids getting hurt the most on jungle gyms because there were just series of like boxes that you would climb up with bars, but the bars seemed to overlap. So if you fell, you didn't fall directly from the top to the dirt below, concrete below, pavement below. If you fell from the top of a jungle gym, more often than not, you plinkoed your way down because you hit bars every way down, kind of like the plinko game on Price is Right. You literally go blink, 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 blink until you finally landed on the bottom. That one killed me. Ride our bikes to get a mile anywhere, fair enough. Hot metal slides. Yeah, the jungle gym was my nemesis. Everything else I mastered pretty well. It was like plinking. Monkey bars. Kickball, double dutch. Never mastered double dutch, but again, probably more of a girl thing. Kickball was the great equalizer. Everybody could be good at kickball. What was the giant tire for? Malaria. The giant tire was literally for creating different, varied, and incredibly powerful strains of malaria. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. First real job after getting my working papers at 16. I actually got my working papers at 14. I always worked. My parents owned a diner, so I always worked at the diner. But at 14, they wanted me to work outside of the restaurant. They wanted me to know what it was like working for somebody else. So I worked at a service star, a home center, a lumber yard, saccrete, concrete, lifting bags of mulch, all that kind of stuff. 99,788. Slowing down. Mine too, Trevor, but it's all good. Red Rover. Red Rover, we didn't play as much at school. That was a neighborhood game for me. Neighborhood games that I remember playing with the kids in my neighborhood were like Red Rover. Capture the Flag was epic. I loved Capture the Flag, and we would get so many people playing in that. Murder, Midnight, Hide and Seek. At night, flashlight tag in graveyards, ghost in the graveyard in graveyards. Ring Around the Rosie when we were littler. Didn't really know the meaning of that song until I got older. That's pretty dark. Wiffle ball. We played hot box, which was like baseball, but it was only 2 bases and you try to run back and forth. Thumbs up, 7 Up was so much fun. Yeah, Capture the Flag was cool. And then you would try to drag somebody over. Spud? Sounds familiar. I don't remember. Capture the Flag at night. And there's always 2 different kinds. The people that wanted to go out to get the flag and the ones that wanted to defend the flag. Yeah, I remember that one, Tammy. Renamed Kill the Man with the Ball. Freeze tag was fun. There's a lot of tags. There was tag, freeze tag, flashlight tag. There was one where you went under their legs to unfreeze them. I think we called that diaper tag. Kick the can was fun. Musical chairs was blood sport. I think I got more injured playing musical chairs than I did playing Red Rover. At least Red Rover was honest about what the implications were. Musical chairs, man, you took elbows to the face. You had chairs ripped out from under. Musical chairs was rough. All right, got 250 of y'all sitting there on YouTube. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit subscribe button. Make sure to hit that little bell to be notified of new videos. Did anyone play a form of dodgeball called Butts Up? I'm not touching that one, literally. Tug of War, Duck Duck Goose. Duck Duck Goose is another one. We just smacked the hell out of people. Bobbing for apples, dude. The reason that our ability to fight off infection, our immune systems are what they are, I'm convinced is because of bobbing for apples. Think about it. When did we play? We more often than not played like around Halloween time. At the height of flu season, we stuck our faces in that water after the snot-nosed kid went right before us. That and drinking fountains were like the two grossest things from my childhood. Chickenpox parties. I don't know if it started COVID, D'Angela, or if bobbing for apples is what allowed a lot of us to slide right through it. It was a bacteria pool. Musical chairs toughen us up. Indian burns, yep. Poor water pressure fountains. The no water pressure fountains. I've said it before. In order to get water out of those drinking fountains, you had to make out with it. You had your mouth on it. Stacy Snyder in the 7th grade was probably my first real kiss. She was in the 7th grade. I was in the 6th grade, or maybe it was reversed. But either way, I made out with the drinking fountain long before her. What was my favorite school lunch? Probably going to go square pizza. Thanks, Jack Black. Our park had a Lionhead water fountain. Okay. 10 away from 99,800, guys. Can we get 10 subscribers of the couple hundred that are floating around? If not, no big deal. But if you do follow me on Facebook and you haven't followed me on YouTube, go ahead and throw that a follow. Some of the stuff that we do is only on YouTube, actually. Three View Mirror is on YouTube as a podcast talk show every Friday. I'm not remove my hat. Why, Brandon? Because we lost? Psst. If I got rid of Bill's stuff because I lost, I would have gotten rid of it a long time ago. I sucked at Simon Says. I was really good at Simon Says. I was really good at getting people out at Simon Says because I learned while watching Battle of the Network Stars. Battle of the Network Stars had this guy that was ridiculously amazing at getting the celebrities out at the Simon Says portion of the thing. Let's subscribe there. So, Monica, the verbiage is a little different. If you follow me on Facebook, following on Facebook is the same as subbing on YouTube. If you want to join on YouTube, that's a different terminology. That means you become part of the people that pay a small fee in order to help support the page. And that's exactly what subscribing on Facebook does. If you hit subscribe on Facebook, you pay a whopping 99 cents a month. But that also opens up a private Facebook page that can't get it to load. YouTube, I'm not sure why. But yeah, if you subscribe on Facebook, the cool thing is that 99 cents a month actually opens up a private group. And they're pretty funny in there. Agreed, Eileen. Thank you. I loved Battle of the Network Stars. It was awesome. Circus of the Stars. All right, took a jump. 99,795. Appreciate that, Mayu. Yeah, Facebook's getting, I mean, a lot of people are Paul Harvey, and now you know the rest of the story. Whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X, people ask me, why I'm on different platforms. Different people like different sides of it. Some people, oh, very cool, Rhoda. Thank you. Some people absolutely refuse to ever open up a Meta account. And I get it. That's fine. Some people wouldn't ever be on TikTok or Instagram, and that's fine. But you can find me pretty much across the board because different people need to see it on different places. American Gladiators, my was good. I still think Battle of the Network Stars I liked a little more. Although I always wanted to do the Gladiators portion where there's where they shoot at you with the tennis balls. I thought that would be cool. Wish I could subscribe twice. Unethical. Set up a second account to subscribe again. Not unethical, unnecessary, but thank you so much. Angela, I'm glad you're enjoying the lives. You're very welcome. I enjoy them too. Haven't seen Wirehead lately in the lives, Sheila, but he did comment on something earlier today, so I know he's alive and well. He's doing all right. Good night, Vinny. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Yeah, the Gen X members only a place over on Facebook. It's cool because so on my Facebook account, you guys are passive observers, right? You can watch and you can comment, but I'm the one forced to come up with all the different content that's on it. In the Facebook group that opens up when you subscribe with that 99 cents a month, the cool part is that group, that subscribers only group, that private Gen X Jono subscribers only group, you guys get to post. And a lot of the content that I'm starting to do sometimes comes from ideas I see from y'all. You guys are like, have you seen this? Or have you talked about this? Or what about, and I will then take it and I'm like, you know what? This is awesome. I can do something with this. And then I bring it to the broader audience. I do remember hypercolor shirts. They just came along when I was a little older. I think I was in college by then, if that was the late 80s. And at that point, it wasn't something I'd really wear into college. Hee Haw was awesome for a red-blooded young male. Love our little subscriber group. I love it too. I try to take a back seat and let you guys drive that one. Anyone know the score for the Bills game? Pretty sure we won, Jessica. Thanks. Do I get all of that 99 cents? I do, Diana. Thank you for asking that. Did I survive Oregon Trail? No, I died of dysentery more often than I'd like to admit. Love that you said y'all. I was a you guys guy growing up. But I've been in the South. I've been in Charlotte now for the better part of 9 years. So y'all just snuck in. I know, Boomba. I'm just joking. Chiefs won. But I'm figuring if at this point people are seeing my bill stuff and asking the score, at least some of them know. They're just trying to get to me. And that's probably not the case here. What's Crocodile Mile? I don't know. I'm IT and never played Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail was cool. So the earliest games that we played hit 99.8, guys, 99,804. So now we're less than 200 away. We have to end this live before we get too much closer because I don't want to do that shot of Everclear. I love those games because they were simplistic in their execution, but they were if-then games. If you remember watching Big, and he was coming across the whole premise of the game early is how do you get by it? And you just try all these different solutions to do things. They were really text-based games to be Gold's point, and they were just about what are you going to do next and problem solving. And I like that. I think that says a lot about how we used to play. Leisure Suit Larry, same thing. Can you show me how to become, I'm a small YouTube creator trying to become bigger. Dude, I wish I had an answer. I don't think I did anything necessarily different to be more successful on here. I think luck plays a role. Providence plays a role. Consistency, keep at it if it's something you want to do. But I would never say I'm better at this because my account's bigger than yours. I don't think it works that way. As my wife is nostalgic as I am, my wife marvels at my memory. For better or for worse, for good or for bad, it's kind of weird, the things that I'm able to remember. That's what she really marvels at. So she is as nostalgic as I am in terms of enjoying the nostalgia. It just doesn't trigger for her the way it does for me. Thank you, Kathy. Coming all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Happy to have you here. Still hitting the gym. Not as much as I should be. Christmas backed me up. I ended up doing a lot of other things, and I just have not been working out as much as I should. But as soon as I get back from my trip to Orlando, I'm giving myself that little bit of time to clear out some projects I'm working on. Then it's back to the gym full time again. Tombstone on a Commodore. What's the other one? Do you guys remember? And then there were the shooter type games that we would just hit the space bar, and it wasn't like as cool as the games are now, but games like Castle Wolfenstein, I remember that. Thank you so much, Kelly. Appreciate it. What I think, no worries, man. It's all okay. Doom. I forgot about Doom. Hey, Robert Bernard, welcome to the Honorary Xers. Happy to have you here. Somebody mentioned that their stroke, so their short-term memory as a result of a stroke is. I get a lot of people that comment in my direct messages that I try to keep up with, and I get a lot. I'm vastly outnumbered, but I try to look as often as I can. And one thing that I see a lot is people with traumatic brain injuries or stroke victims really appreciate the content we all talk about because it helps them retain memories and helps them get them back. Sun in for hair, dude, I remember that. I remember every dark-haired kid and a lot of boys. I think I actually remember more boys being victims of sun-in than girls. Girls would actually color their hair, but boys would do the sun-in route. And I remember a lot of boys coming in with like orange hair as a result of it. I never fell for that.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
How many more?
This one just had a birthday. Sun-in and vodka. Sun-in and lemon. I don't know about vodka. Always turned hair orange. Hey, Cynthia Brown. Good to see you. Yellow hair from sun-in would probably be better. But it just went that orange red first. Yeah, I have a teenager in the house again. She just turned 13. Pitfall Cassandra is one of my favorite games. I actually played it backwards. You could go, instead of going to the right, you could actually go to the left. And it made it easier to jump on the heads of the alligators. Hey, William, good to see you. Sun-in a tanning bed. What time is it, Peanut?
Thank you. I don't know.
Because you got school in the morning. It is 11 o'clock.
Oh, on the dot.
11 on the dot. So you got to get ready you got to get to bed. Okay? Sorry.
Thank you.
I got to get her to bed. So I'm going to be signing off soon because, man, she's your twin. Did anyone see Jupiter Lander? No. My dad was a Gen Xer. I grew up watching a lot of Gen X shows. That's awesome. Quantum Leap, Incredible Hulk. You've named a lot of good ones. Very cool. I love kids that come on here, and I say kids, and some of them are in their 20s or even, God forbid, early 30s, and I think of y'all as kids, and I shouldn't. You're full-grown adults. It's just that I look at someone in their 20s, and because I have a kid at 21, I think of you guys as kids. But those that follow me that are in their 20s, I appreciate them so much. I think it's awesome that they have an interest in how we grew up, and a lot of them, this one has said it before, it's like, I wish I grew up then. It was a very, very unique time. Another one I was told was to pour beer in your hair to make it lighter.
Pink.
I don't know if it was. Thank you so much, Angela. I don't know if she definitely got my eyes. If the beer was meant to make the hair lighter, or I remember there was that beer shampoo. I think it was supposed to be like a treatment for your hair, as Stacy is reminding us of now.
That's weird.
Daughter loves Golden Girls. Thinks she can hold it. She loves Golden Girls.
Beer for your hair?
Yeah, girls would put beer in their hair. It would make their hair thicker and more lustrous. And then there was a specific shampoo that came, during the time of Stovetop Stuffing. There was an actual shampoo that was made with the beer. Asteroids. There were two versions of asteroids. The first, asteroids, I didn't like. Because when the asteroids came at you and you couldn't shoot them, your only recourse was to hit hyperspace. And that just moved you from the place you were about to be killed directly to another place where you did get killed. But Asteroids Deluxe had a shield. And if you push that button, as long as the shield lasted, and so long as you didn't get crunched between two asteroids, that was pretty cool. Good night, Cassandra. Thank you for coming in. Body on tap is exactly what it was. You were exactly right, Pearl. Defender, I love the little teleport the people up onto the ship. That was pretty cool. G, your hairspell's terrific. All right, kiddo. I'm going to end this, but you got to get changed, and I'll come right in to put you down, okay? I love you.
Love you.
I will be in. All right, guys, that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you so much for the wishes on a birthday week. got my first birthday presents from my best friend Matt. 1980 something circa Garbage Pail Kids. This one's from 1986, as is this one. What's in them? I'll never know because I don't think I'm ever going to open them. These are the 3rd series and the 5th series, and I think it's just really cool that he thought to give me these, and I was really grateful. But they're going to go into the collection as is. And the first of my birthday week birthday presents. I'm running out of room. I'm going to need a second shelf very, very soon. There. Yeah, the gum in there is still there, but yeah, it's got to be old. All right, guys, please continue to follow. If you're watching this after the live, please go ahead and subscribe so we can get our YouTube channel up to that 100,000. Sorry, Bass fan, I got to put the little one to bed. Mini Etch-a-Sketch. I saw you saw that. Guys, I appreciate you so much. I will be live again probably either Tuesday or Wednesday night. Just keep an eye. It'll be a pop-up. And then again on Friday at 5:30 for an episode of the 3-View Mirror. I'm hosting for the 3-View Mirror on Friday, and it's actually my birthday episode. My birthday is the next day thereafter. So we're going to do that. And then back here again Sunday night for the wonderful world of Gen X. Love you guys to pieces. Cannot thank you enough. Keep watching that YouTube channel. Keep sharing it. Let's see if we can get to 100,000. Less than 200 away. Subscribe on Facebook for added benefit. And that's all I got. Have a great week, guys. Look for Trivia Crack launching momentarily for this week's 3-night round. Love y'all. Peace. Be good. Share and follow.